friends, we're going to do our Jeff Koons balloon dogs. So we're going to start by drawing some ovals. We're going to create some overlapping to create some depth, and also later go in and add some shadows and highlights to make it look even more three-dimensional and have more depth. So the first thing I'm going to do is start with the nose. So when you're drawing this, you don't want to draw too small. You got to think about where that nose is going to go on your paper. So it's going to be about right here. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to do a horizontal oval. That's about right in this spot here. After I've done that, I'm now going to do the ear. So I'm going to do that front ear. So it's going to come out just a little bit into that first oval. It's going to come up, wrap around, and then come back near the where the nose oval is. And if yours, mine got a little wobbly here. If yours is, more of a curved like my original, that's fine. Now we're going to draw one that looks like it's going behind the one in the front. In art, that's called overlapping, when one shape goes behind another. So you're going to go about right here on this one, wrap around, and then you're going to stop when you get to the nose. Okay, so now that I have that, I'm going to do the neck line. So that's going to come, we're going to go a little bit past where the ear and the nose line meet. And you're going to do a curve that comes down, wraps around, and then meets back up on the other side of this ear. So it goes from about right here and comes and wraps around there. Okay, we're going to do the body now. So that's going to start right here at the top of the neck. It's going to come, wrap around, and then you want to try to wrap around until you're going to be close to meeting to the bottom of that neck curve. Okay, for the legs, you're going to start it where the neck is. You're going to come in a little bit to the neck, and you're going to curve down and wrap back to the body. So just want a little bit into the neck. And then we're going to do a back one that comes, curves, and wraps into the first. We're going to do the back leg now. It's going to come to the back of the body, curve and wrap up. And then another curve that curves down and wraps under. Okay, and then for the tail, we're going to do a curve up here, but then a skinnier curve above that, because that's where the air doesn't come through. For the nose, you're going to do an oval, small oval that's kind of floating near the nose area. This is the little piece where you blow the air into the balloon. It's a vertical little oval. And then you're going to go and do a diagonal line that goes from the top of that oval into the nose. And then same thing on the bottom, and then a line and two on the side for the little tensions where the air is being pulled in the dog. So we have the ovals done here. We're now going to go in, we're going to add the shadows, and the shadows are the areas that are opposite to where the light source is. It's always the darkest part of a shape. It's where the light is the farthest away. So you're going to pick an oil pastel that's the closest to the color of your paper, but a shade darker. So I have pink. If I was to take my pink oil pastels, most of the time they're very similar to the paper. So what is the next closest color to pink that's a little bit darker? Right, I could do red. So it's the closest to pink, it's a little darker. Sometimes you might, in that color you used, have that color in a darker version. So take this example. If I grab this oil pastel, it's kind of the same. But if I get one of these ones, that's a darker version, that would be perfect. So you want to get as close as you can. If I tried to go in this pink and I grabbed, I don't know, a green, that wouldn't make sense because it's nowhere close to pink. So I'm just going to do red, and what we're going to do is on the bottom of each curve, only the bottom, you're going to trace with your pastel, because that's going to be your shadow area. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to curve along the edge here. I'm going to curve down here, down on this one. So just the bottom of every curve you're going to trace. Okay, so I have that done. Now I'm going to take my pointer finger and I'm going to rub in a circular motion to try to blend some of this pastel into the drawing. So then I'll have some medium toned areas and some really dark areas. So watch me. I'm not using my whole hand, just one finger. And near the edge of that pastel, I'm gonna roll in circles. So you'll see you kind of have like a little bit of a shadowed area. Now, if you rub too much in your dark area, which is the very edge at the bottom of each shape, kind of gets a little too light, you can always go back in and retrace on top like that. So I'm gonna go in, and you don't want to, you know, blend this into the whole thing. We're just kind of getting near the edge, retracing if we think it needs to be darker around the darkest part. But essentially what we're trying to do is, now you see I have a really dark area, that's a really dark value, a middle value, and then just a very light value, which is the pink. So I've got a dark, medium, and light. So you notice, friend, I only have one finger dirty. That's all you need. There's gonna be a few spots after you go in and decide if you need to retrace your really dark areas. There's gonna be two spots where we don't need to blend the shadows in, and that's gonna be the skinny part of the tail and the inside right here, that little small oval of the balloon. Okay, so there we have that. Now we're gonna go in and do our highlights, and that's gonna be the hot spot, the lights that hit your balloon dog. And Jeff Koons balloon dog, it was made with some kind of metallic material, so it was reflected. And in any kind of reflective material, you're going to see that hot spot or that light hitting the object. Typically that light is going to go with the shape of the object, so, and that light is going to be the farthest away from your shadow. So I'm going to take a white pastel, and I'm just going to go on top of each curve. In the body, I'll just do a couple like these. In the opposite area of my shadows, I'm going to do some curves to create some highlights. Okay, they're not straight lines because it's a round object. I do not need to blend the highlights in. I'm just drawing them in. I'm not going to rub those with my finger like I did with the oil pastel.